Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the new update for Scum, where we have a lot of things to show you guys, which I mentioned in my last video, namely quads, base building upgrades, stealth improvements, dropships, and yes, I can't believe no one is talking about the quads fuel usage. Who is talking about this thing's fuel usage? It's absolutely insane. Yes, it can maneuver nicely, but holy poop, my brew, has anyone seen this bloody fuel usage? Just look at this. Oopsie. Just look at this bloody fuel usage. Look at that fuel. That fuel is insane, man. But in any case, quad needs some advanced driving skill, which I do have. You need it in combination with the advanced skydiving license. So let's get back to the rest of the stuff. But again, can anyone just tell me what is happening to this fuel usage? Are we serious? What went wrong? But in any case, all I basically did is I drove from here to the airfield and I drove back, and I've used more than half a tank. And I don't think it's because of my settings. I really don't think it's because of my settings. But we can always make sure. Now we'd like to put this off, please. Okay, so if we go to my options or service settings, vehicles, no. The drain from engine is vanilla. It's ridiculous, even if you drive this thing. It's not because of the armor, ladies and gentlemen. Look there, full usage, full fuel. Now let's check this out. I'm just driving to the airfield. You guys are gonna have to practice to drive with this thing. It's not easy. Can't keep the petrol in like with a dirt bike. Oh, and you can slide, you can hurt yourself. This thing has thrown me off like a horse. You can easily hurt yourself. But yes, the quad is a nice addition. It's just, if I have to find something wrong with it, like just the fuel, buddy, just the fuel. The suspension doesn't feel as good as the first quad. For all the old-time gamers, we had a quad before. The suspension doesn't feel, it doesn't feel as reactive as the first one did. But you can fall off this thing and you can hurt yourself. I think it's usually with a ramp or something, but you can definitely hurt yourself. But again, the fuel. That's the only question I'm asking myself here. What's happening with the fuel? So yeah, it gets dirty really quickly, and it uses fuel really quickly. But in any case, let me inject myself here with some Phoenix tears. And let's talk about the update, okay? Except for the quad that they gave us that gets dirty very quickly and uses a lot of fuel. They gave us some car radios as well, okay? So this is what a Ranger looks like that's lightly armored. She's going to open the door right here. You're going to have a seat. And as you can see in the car at the moment, there's a gap for the radio, okay? So I don't know if I can put it. No, I can't put it in my hands. I can't put it in my hands right now. So you're going to have to, like, jack the car up. Okay. Going to have to service the vehicle. And then there's the new radio slot. Take the radio in your hand. You can remove it or install it. Okay. And that's it. I don't really play the music anymore because for some reason all the videos are getting copyrighted that had the music in it. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah. Okay. Now you've got the radio in the car. The biggest thing for me is the base building. not really the paint. There's a lot of things you can do with the paint, but I'm not, you know, I keep it very basic. If I'm in the forest, like where I am, I just paint the base green. If I'm in the snow, I paint the base white. If I'm in the desert, I paint the base brown. Okay, that's as far as my creativity goes. The biggest thing for me about the update is the foundations. The fact that you don't have to worry about how high you make them anymore. Although I don't think you can make them too high. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder how high can you make them? Okay, let's just see how high can you make them. You can make them quite high. And I'm always thinking of how people are going to abuse this, because that's what people tend to do. Just see what shortcuts they can get. But yeah, you can see the framework of the metal. Okay, no way to crawl underneath this. And then, so basically metal is my favorite at the moment. Metal is definitely my favorite. So, of course, you can vault on this. Of course, they can put walls on here. But, I mean, this is 1,200 health. The wall is 1,200 health. So, you're not really getting an advantage here. You're just inviting people to blow up your foundations. Then the foundations don't take more explosives than the walls. Like I said, I don't really get creative with the paint. But I built the towers. The towers look like the same metal. But I'm really a fan of the metal. For me personally, I don't know if you guys remember what the metal looked like that, but it was very holy and like you could see through it. You know, if you made your base completely from metal, or if you upgrade your whole base to metal, it had like, people could see into your base. You know, it just looked very cheap and everything. Not that this doesn't look cheap, but at least it looks a little bit more solid. So I'm definitely a fan of the new metal. If you're asking me, you know, where am I going to stop? It's probably going to be metal. And then, of course, these are all the greens. That one I know is lime green. This is probably dark green. No, I don't know. And then forest green or earth green. So, you know, you can test with the colors and then, you know, like test the way women test, paint on walls. Get the color that you like and then paint your entire base with the color. You can match the colors. You can see there, our base is cement. We put gray paint on the plating. Then you don't have that kind of color, so you can, you know, you can blend it. But like I say, you know, that's as far as I'm going to go with base building, guys. You get two whites, flat white and snow white. I'll probably use snow white for a snow base. There's a lot of people that get creative. I'm not the most creative with base building. You know, I try to keep it basic. Sometimes I get inspiration from a certain design that I'm thinking about. But yeah, when I'm just showcasing the new base parts, I'm just thinking of how people can utilize them. So paint, you do what you want. You can be a flamingo, have your entire base pink. So you can be very in the open, everyone look at me, or you can be very subtle and try and use the paint to camouflage your base or to make your base not be seen, or you can just go nuts, you know, and then be an eyesore. Whenever someone drives past your base, they make an accident and kill themselves along the road, you know, because your base just was pink, brown, and yellow, or whatever the case may be. I don't think you can do patterns on the walls. I don't know if they're going to bring that in later, but I mean, it's still, I've seen people use the paint nicely. I just don't think I'm one of them. And then I'm more practical. So these new floors where you can shoot through the floors, I think that's very, very nice. Okay, where you can see people coming into your base, getting angles on them. That's very, very nice. The ladders are a nice touch, you know, to get into your base quite easily. I thought I had a ladder here. Apparently, I don't have a ladder. I really thought I had a ladder. But in any case, you can build a ladder. I don't know what happened to my ladder. Oh, there it is. My ladder's on the first floor. Okay, so you can make a ladder. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but the ladder has no health. No health meter. I don't know how easy it is to blow the ladder away. You know, so yeah. You can't upgrade the ladder, which is bad, because if somebody blows away the ladder, they don't have access to your base. And if you have to focus on the foundations, then the whole base is going to crumble down because the base, because the domino base building system that they haven't fixed for the last 2 years. But let's talk about the positive things. There's a lot more options for you to use, okay? The one option that I really like is this. Whether you're doing this or whether you're doing this. The fact that I'm at the outside of my base, okay, and I can look down at anyone that's going to come to my base. I can have this higher up. I can be very, very high up. And whenever someone comes to my wall to plant something on my wall, I can shoot at them. I'm sure you'll be able to use a grenade like this. These are just practical things that I think about. So if you take like 5 grenades, take that in one your hand, you go Shift G. Okay, and then you kill yourself. Yep. Dangerous. Grenade is dangerous. Okay, let me just try this again quickly. So yeah, just like if you get the distances right, you can really underarm throw these grenades, which I think is nice. And then I'm gonna have to fall down somewhere if I stuff this up again. So let me try and throw it down here. Okay. Shift G. Okay, and then I'm gonna die again. Oh my word. And I still die. Okay, guys. Third time lucky. I'm sure you guys get the point. Okay. I think these holes are gonna be part of the new base designs. The ladders are not a great thing. It makes it almost impossible to raid certain bases without blowing up the foundations or crumbling the entire base up. Because if people build a tower and they make a death room at the top with a ladder, the clan raiding them can only go up with a ladder, one by one without, like if I climb the ladder, let's say, I'm raiding the base, I've got a gun, and they can throw grenades down here. They can make this room that it has no cover. So when they throw a grenade in here, I die, my friends die, we all lose our gear. But for us to get to them, we don't have a gun. So I have to get up here, okay? And I'm dead. I have to switch to my gun. I have to aim. In the meantime, they can have these walls. They can have these walls looking at me, killing me. So this is definitely going to be a meta. For people that don't want to get raided, and it's usually people who don't want to get raided but wants to raid, like a person that I spoke to today, and I told them, I have a rule that your loot has to be accessible without the ladder, and a few people had a problem with that, and I know what people have a problem with that. If you like taking other people's loot, if you like raiding but you don't like getting raided, then of course you're gonna just make a base with ladders, okay? But again, then you must just go play with another, with another community, because unfortunately, whenever the developers put something into the game, I visualize it from a player's perspective, and I see all the loopholes and all the disasters probably in a day, okay? So I don't know why the developers don't see as this being a big problem. I mean, when first time they showcased the base building, they put 2 towers next to each other with a bridge, between them, and said, best base ever, But because you could target the foundations, it was literally the worst base ever in history, okay? Because if you just have 2 single foundation towers with a bridge between them to access the loot, someone's just going to target your foundations, and you've got the weakest base in Scum history, which the developers thought was a strong base, but they didn't think about the foundations. They still haven't fixed the domino system where if you blow up the walls, all the walls come crumbling down. And now they've literally created a pipe where no one's going to want to raid online. No one's going to want to raid when other people are waiting upstairs for them, because there's no way to defend themselves. If this is the only route to the loot, I'm only going to get killed like this about 2 times, and then I'm on other servers. You can't do it on my servers, but you can't use the ladders on my servers either to hide your loot, but you're going to target this. And because of that, the whole base is going to come crumbling down. It's just a very negative experience. But, I think about these things. That's why it took me a whole weekend to revamp the rules and think what can go wrong. So, yes, it's nice. Yes, it looks better. Like I said, I like the metal base building. I think, I'm going to upgrade my base to metal immediately because I like the look. But, of course, we all know brick and metal is where you're getting the major HP advantage to your wall health. The other thing that I saw very, very quickly is that with the previous base building, you had a door frame. You had a very, very clear door frame. And if you place the explosives on the frame, you could damage the door, okay? Which makes sense. You always want people to target your doors, whether they lockpick the door or whether they blow away the door. You want people to target the door, okay? So in the previous base building, it made sense. But now, if you take a C4, it's going to spawn in a C4 here. If you take a C4 and you try and place it within the frame, like that, okay, this is the only way that you could target the door. Because although you've got an option, and this has been a problem for more than a year, guys, although you've got an option to attach the trap, you can't. You can't attach the trap. Okay, so there's literally an option to attach the trap, but the developers haven't given us the option to attach the trap, and this has been a problem for more than a year. And that's why people are targeting Foundation. That's why people are making Scum's base building look like the worst base building in any survival game, because they're targeting the foundations and the walls. And as we know, doesn't matter how tall your base is, everything comes crumbling down, because Scum doesn't have beams in their floors. They don't have cement that attaches this wall to the floor instead of to the other wall. So, yeah, the snapping points in Scum's base building needs a lot of work, but that is what's important to me. So my score on the base building, or my relative view on the base building, it's nice, but it's gone backwards practically. They didn't think about the consequences of the ladders. I think if they gave us a lot more furniture, that would add a lot of value for players. If they added a lot of furniture, if they enabled us to attach the lights, you guys know the big lights. I mean, you can attach this. If you go to the base building, you can attach this to the base. Okay, you can build that, but you can't attach the lights, the electrical lights. Lights. Not the four. Okay, I'm going through all the. You guys, I'm sure you guys. This. We've got a portable work light. You get this thing inside of a mine, but you can't attach this to your base. This light to your base. You can't attach it to your base. And you can't leave it outside, otherwise it despawns. You can't leave a candle next to your bed, otherwise it despawns. So, they still said we're going to get turrets in the future. And of course, like Avenger, one of my friends said, it will be nice to have electrical grids and turrets and things where you can defend your base, especially since there are sentries now, that come out of dropships, and we all know that the dropships are going to drop the super soldiers. That makes sense. That's where they're going. Okay, I mean, the sentry. If you look at the dropship, the sentry can't even fit into the dropship. It's not even realistic for a sentry to come out of the dropship, but it will be realistic for super soldiers, those Tech 1 soldiers, to come out of the dropships. So we know where they're going, but again, for me, practically, it went a bit backwards. This is a bit backwards practically. The fact that I cannot damage the door anymore. I can't target the door when, they've got 50 testers, okay? If I was a tester, I would sort this out in a week, because you just have to play Rust for a week and play with Rust base building, or you have to talk to a Rust player, a pro Rust player, to let them explain to you exactly how Rust's base building works, and then you try and copy that, because Rust is very, very successful, and their base building and raiding mechanics is the best out of any base build or raiding game. So, and no one's going to tell me that the dropship idea, isn't inspired from Rust's heli idea. In Rust, you've got a helicopter attacking your base. Now you've got a dropship attacking your base. So actually, it's the sentry attacking your base. So I don't care if they take ideas from other games, but they need to take the good stuff. They need to take the foundation of that good game. And the foundation of a game like Rust is perfect snapping points, realistic foundations with beams in them, so that if you destroy the bottom wall, the top wall, in Rust, you can literally blow up a foundation and this won't come down just because this wall and everything is attached to that foundation and that foundation. So the snapping points in Rust's base building is very, very accurate, very realistic, very stable, where Scum's base building is very frustrating for anyone that's ever been raided, okay? It's not a good experience to be raided when you know the snapping points don't work right and your whole base comes crumbling down. So, visually, I like the upgrades. Visually, I like what the wood looks like. I like what the metal looks like. I like what everything looks like. I like that they gave me the option to build the ladder, so now I can make my own tower instead of using this tower. Okay, they've given me options to add my own towers to my bases with the ladders, which will be cool. But they've gone backwards with raiding efficiency. That doesn't showcase the broken base building mechanics. Because I cannot, for the life of me, like I said in the previous build, I could damage the door. Now, I can't damage the door. I can only damage the frame. Okay, so it's the frame that gets damaged. Let's just see what the health is here. 400. Okay, so I'm going to have to showcase with the TNT because the C4 does that kind of damage. So I'm just going to put it like there isn't really a frame, guys. In the previous build, there was a clear frame and you could target the doors. And then it makes sense to target the doors because it takes 2 C4s and 2 TNTs to go through a concrete wall. Where you could go through the door, previously, you could go through the door with 1 C4 and 1 TNT. So clearly you want to go through the doors, making the raid good for you. You having to get less explosives to get into the base. The people that has the base don't come back to a leveled base because you targeted the foundations. It's just great for the defender and great for the raider, and they went backwards by 500% when it comes to that, because you can't damage the doors unless you're using guns. And who wants to use guns in a raid? I don't know. Last time it did 1 damage per round. Who wants to put 400 rounds into a door? Okay, so I'm just going to ignite this now. Okay, so you can see the foundation took 200 damage. The door took 13 damage. Where with the previous build, the door took more damage than the frame took. Okay, so I'm just giving you guys an honest opinion where I'm not trying to, get into anyone's good books. I'm giving you guys my true opinion about what frustrates me. I'm not going to get passionate about what frustrates me anymore. I'm not going to shout at people. I'm not going to tell people, they mustn't have a job. I'm just going to tell you guys that this is what makes a difference. A big part of Scum is keeping your loot in that thing called a base. The second biggest thing in Scum is people trying to get your loot out of that thing. And if that thing tells you to focus on the walls and the foundations when everything comes crumbling down because the snapping points are in alpha mode, not even beta mode, and not even close to Rust's snapping points. That's going to frustrate people that love the game. So when they got the feedback, I feel they listened to a few people that they usually listen to, but the unbiased people like me, I don't know. I don't know how long that's going to take, because my last interview with Tommy Slav 2 years ago, I showed them that when you blow up the one wall, all the walls come crumbling down. They said they know about it and they're going to fix it. That was 2 years ago. We still have a domino system. We can't target the doors anymore, which is just forcing the raider to destroy the guy's base completely, because the raider is not responsible for the base building not having any snapping points. So my overall score about the base building update, guys, is I like the fact that I can make my base look better. I like the fact that I can camouflage my base, in a way. I like the fact that I've got a little bit more options. But the fact that I can't target doors and I have to target things that showcase how bad the snapping points are, and the fact that you can abuse these ladders with meta builds is very negative for me. And I feel it's negative for the game. I love this, okay? The fact that you can't crawl under foundations, giving you more freedom. I love the fact that you can make these cages. I love the fact that you can vault through the windows, giving you a lot more movement. I love the fact that you don't have to go, oh no, they can get into my base. No, you can just put you can do the window thing. I would love the day where we can actually build in assets, but you can block the window off, and then if you've got the gun, you can aim, because if you hold control and mouse wheel, you can adjust the height and the leaning or whatever, so you can still fight them without them being able to jump into your base. But yeah, if I have to be very honest with you guys, which I always am, I'm quite disappointed with the raiding aspect and the broken meta builds, which are going to flourish from that. But again, the walls look nicer, the textures look nicer. It's a nice finish. It's just, we still can't attach the lights, we still don't have electricity. We lose our candles, we lose our flashlights, and the only thing that we can attach is this Chinese thingamajigs, which I don't know. I don't think this thing is giving me a lot of options with lighting. That's just my personal opinion. The quads are good. The quads need a bit of handling, the quads are difficult to handle, but I like the fact that I have to learn to use a vehicle. I like the armor that you get on the vehicle, okay? Although the sentry shot off the armor, which was very, very funny to me. Yeah, the sentry actually got the armor off immediately. Quads are cool. They can add jet skis. They can add the seaplane back. So if we have to look at what was great about the update, the quad was good. The dropships, I don't think they thought the dropships through, because I'm not going to spawn a dropship now, guys. I'll link 2 videos down below. The guy's name is Dave. Like I tell you guys, I love Scum. I research everything about Scum. I like seeing what other guys are up to. I just love everything about Scum. That's why I get passionate about things, that I feel breaks the experience for most players. But Dave has tested the sentries, shooting his base, destroying his base. So I'll link those 2 videos for you. Just going to save me time from doing it. And I think he did quite a good job testing that out. And I know the dropship is quite weak. You don't need a lot of weapons to kill the dropship, but it's actually the sentry that kills your base. And although they said they're only going to activate it on a few official servers, if they haven't disabled it already, because apparently it's crashing servers, although it's not crashing mine, if you go to official settings, it states the server settings for official settings say that the sentry or the dropship will attack your base when you've got 100 parts or more. Now, on official server, your default parts are 100. Your expansions are 75. And for every player in your clan, you get 25 extra base parts. So you can actually build a base of 425 parts with a full clan. Now, the rules say that, and I'm going to show you what rules. If you go to server settings, okay, and you go to NPCs, yeah, you can activate all the things for the dropships. But here are the rules. The rules say, okay, that base building counter, minimum number of elements to start. Okay, so minimum amount of elements needed to start a base building encounter. -1 is the default, which is 100. That's official settings, which is 100. So at 100 parts or more, the 100 is the minimum. At 100 parts or more, at any point, not at 100 parts, maybe when you've got 150, maybe when you've got 200, maybe when you've got 250 parts, a dropship can attack your base and drop the sentry that actually kills your base. But again, official settings. Yeah, if I can just get it to come up here. The base building encounter minimum number, amount of elements remaining needed for the base building encounter to end. -1 equals 50. Encounter ends after amount of elements remaining reaches 50. Okay? You don't have to worry about the minimum amount. Now think about this. And this is where I feel someone in the development team needs to actually visualize it, needs to test this. I don't know what the 50 testers are doing, but I can visualize this very, very fast. I can visualize that when a player builds a base on an official server and he gets to 100 parts, it's not going to activate on him immediately because there's a lot of people that will build a base more than 100 parts. But he's going to keep building the base. He's going to keep upgrading the base. And then maybe at some point he gets to 300 base parts because you can get to a total of 425. And then him and his friends are at work and his girlfriend comes online to do the farming and to cook some food for them. And then the dropship spawns. His girlfriend freaks out, phoning him at his job, telling him there's a sentry destroying our base, and although he went up to 300 parts, their official settings means that the thing is only going to stop when there's 50 parts left. Okay? And when they come from work, they've got 50 parts left. Doesn't matter how far they upgraded the base. They've got 50 parts left when they had 300 parts. Okay? Girlfriend's crying, clan is frustrated, whatever the case may be. Now, they've only activated that on a few official servers, but visually, I can figure out that this will turn out bad. Within the first 30 seconds, I looked at the max number and the minimum number. When I look at when it comes and when it leaves, on official settings, I knew this could be bad. And I knew it won't come immediately. You know, it won't come, you get to 100 parts, boom, it's there, and then boom, it leaves. No. Of course, there's a lot of factors that lets it come to you. The fact that it doesn't come immediately and it will come at some point when your whole team is not at the base. And what I want to test now is that sentry again, guys, it comes to visualization. I know we have to test it, but goodness gracious, the testers can do something as well. Okay? Why are there 50 testers? What are these 50 testers doing? If I can figure this out in a day, okay, I want to see how long it will take me to kill that sentry. And then I want someone in the development team to think about how many people have killed the sentry. If they look at the entire Scum player base, how many people have actually killed a sentry? Let's say it's 20% of the player base has killed the sentry. 80% of the player base hasn't killed the sentry. So first of all, there's a big part of the community that doesn't know how to kill a sentry, hasn't killed a sentry, not interested in killing a sentry. Now a sentry lands in front of his base, okay? And again, I know there's only a few servers that's testing this, and it's your choice whether you test it or not. I'm just logically thinking about how quickly they are implementing this, and if the testers are visualizing anything, or if the testers are actually testing anything. Because if you test this once, I think you can realize, if you think a bit further, if you put yourself in the player's shoes, you can see how this can go south really, really, really quickly. Okay, so I'm going to try and kill the sentry now that comes out of the dropship. I know the dropship can get killed very easily, but I want to see how tough the sentry is, because even though I know how to kill a sentry, I don't always have 160 BMG ammo in my base. I don't have even if I've got a base of 500 parts, I don't always have an M82 with 200 rounds or 160 rounds or 100 rounds. I think it only takes 120 rounds to kill a sentry. But the black sentry, I think it's probably going to take 200 rounds to kill the black sentry. I don't always have 200 BMG rounds in my base. I don't always have 300 trap ammo for an SVD in my base. Okay? That's me. I'm in the top 5% of all players in Scum when it comes to my knowledge of Scum, okay? What about the other 95% of the players? So that's why I'm saying, guys, like, they need to focus on the core. We've still got the puppets in the bushes. We've still got the puppets in the trees. I know they're working on AI behavior, but I mean, I think we need to change our focus points here. Okay, because this looks nice, but the player experience is getting, is deteriorating. I know the Steam charts say the reviews are positive. I also know that we've lost a lot of Americans, Europeans that are coming back now. I don't know how long we will be able to entertain the Americans, Europeans. They can't play on official servers due to it. Due to the problem that we have with Chinese players, which no one wants to take responsibility for or admit. And that's my video, guys. I know everyone else has already made videos about the update. I know they are singing the developers' praises. I don't need to sing the developers' praises because every developer knows that I love Scum. Every player knows I love Scum. Everyone in my community knows I love Scum. So at some point, we just have to focus on what's important, and that is the player experience. And I promise you, most women and most guys would have loved a lot more furniture in the game. Most guys would have liked an electrical system and being able to attach lights and turrets and just attach stuff. Like, guys love gadgets, man. If you gave us gadgets, we will be over the moon. If you gave the women furniture, they would be over the moon. If you gave us something to take pride in our base, that would be great. Can we make our base look better? Yes. But the functionality has actually gone backwards or has not improved. So I think that's what they need to focus on. Other than that, I'm not unhappy. I'm not unhappy. I'm just saying they are thinking about, they want to release the 1.0 in Q2 of 2025. I think they should leave it for Q4 of 2025, because clearly the super soldiers are going to take a while to get perfect. The AI is going to take a while to get perfect because nothing has changed in the last 6 months. The walls are falling. The domino base building crumbling system hasn't changed for the last year and a half, which clearly was a problem. And, when I stated that in the interview that I had with Tommy a very, very long time ago, they agreed with me. It's not as if I said, hey, that's the problem. And they said, no, that's working perfectly. They said, no, the team needs to look at that 2 years ago. Okay. So I want this game to be the best. I'm not expecting it to compete with Rust, because Rust is just snowballed all the time. I don't want Rust's players. I want us to have double the player numbers that DayZ has. And I feel we don't need to do a lot of things to have double the average players that DayZ has, because I truly believe Scum is 2 or 3 times as good as DayZ. It's updated. It isn't even in the 1.0 release. It's not as buggy. Yes, it's freaking buggy, but it's not as buggy. But the puppets have gone backwards from 0.3. We've lost all our vehicles. The base building, we can't target the doors, although the base building You know, any tester, any guy needs to know that the Rust has got the base base building. We've got these spaceships that somebody probably thought about when they looked at Rust. But you need to look at the foundation. You mustn't look at the pretty lights, okay, that makes Rust a great game. You must look at the hard work that went in there to let the players enjoy the experience. So we just need to not focus on the skin of the fruit. We need to focus on the seed of the fruit. Okay, and I'm not doing this video to put a bummer on your guys' excitement. A lot of people are back in the community. I'm happy they are back in the community. I'm gonna have fun with them. I need you guys to talk about this. I really need you guys to talk about this. I'm one person. My community is one community. You know, the community came together with my encounter video, but we need to come together with the core fundamentals. Because it's just building up the amount of vehicles that need to be added to the game, the amount of things that have to be improved on the base building blueprints and snapping points, and the fundamentals of the base building needs so much work. The puppets need so much work. We need so much more vehicles back, and they want to do so much more things. And that's why I say, rather, you know, please let the update come out at the end of 2025, because we cannot release Scum in 1.0 if we haven't fixed the foundation. And I believe Scum has got the strongest foundation. It's a diamond in the rough. You can create a masterpiece, but you need to look at the bottom. You can't look at the top. You need to look at the core player experience. You need to think about the player. And you need the right testers to visualize what is happening. Because, like I said, I don't know what the testers are doing. But for the walls to be crumbling down for the last 2 years, and no, you know, the testers aren't freaking out about it every single day, is worrying to me. And yeah, I don't want to say anything negative, guys. There's a reason I won't join the testing team. But again, you know, I'm done with the politics. I'm focusing on Scum. So please help me get this message out. Please help me. Don't bombard the developers. But when they ask you for base building ideas, remember the fundamentals. When they ask you, what do you like on Twitter? What would you want on Twitter? Remember the fundamentals that will help the game in a major, major way. And unfortunately, raiding is a major part of the game. Puppets are a major part of the game. Vehicles are the strongest point in Scum. There is no other survival game with the cool vehicles and handling that Scum has. The vehicles are Scum's brightest light, and they erased it in 0.8. Puppets were the biggest thing on Scum, and they changed it in 0.9. We need to get back to those fundamentals, because not only are you forcing players to blow up the foundations, you are blowing up a few fundamental things and trying to reinvent the wheel where the wheel just works. Okay, so let's just quickly go look at the sentries now. Okay, you can get a random encounter with them. You can get them when you fail at a bandit bunker, and you can get them when they attack your base. So let's just go see what it looks like at a bandit bunker. Now, while we're heading into the abandoned bunker, guys, I really like what they did to the UI. I won't say that wasn't my first reaction. My first reaction was a bit weird, you know, because we have to go here to see our fame and our gold and our money. This was a bit jarring for me. And then if you see, if you go to options, you go here, you can make it always shown. You know, you can make it always shown. So when I do this, I'm used to the food and the water being at the top, being things that I'm focusing on. So with the way it's going now, I sometimes miss whether I'm hungry or thirsty because these are in my face all the time. So it's definitely something to get used to. Is it cleaner? Yes, it's cleaner. You know, and like I say in the options, I don't know why this one isn't always visible. Always shown. But in any case, yeah. I don't know why that bar, I don't know why that bar isn't popping up. Let me see here quickly. Is it the transparency? No. Okay, there's something wrong with that bar. Okay. But in any case, you can set this. Okay. So how I like to play now, if I want a clean layout, I go to transparent. Okay. Now there we can see it now because the transparency is 100%. But now if I take this transparency down to 10%, now I only see something when I interact with it. You check? So if I press, you can see there, I'm just seeing what I need to see. I still have to remember where my quick slots are, okay? And you can make if that is too dark for you, you can always go a little bit like this. You know, you can put it at 40%. If you like, I still want to know where the things are. You can make, you can just dim it a little bit. But the fact that I only have to see my food and water when I'm not damaged or when my stamina isn't low is really, really good for me. Okay, I really, really like that. So the transparency, the UI thing, shocked me at first, but now that it's my decision to play without it, now that it's my decision to do the transparency effect, I really, really like that. And yeah, if you don't like your parachute being opened automatically, that's a server setting that a server owner can choose. Of course, this is the old survival tips that help new players. They're doing a lot for new players. And yeah, you can let the parachute open up automatically. That's a server setting, but I can turn it off for myself because the first time my parachute opened up automatically, I was quite disappointed because I know how to open a parachute and now I'm taking longer to open the parachute. But yeah, the UI changes are good and the stealth changes. The stealth changes are good as well, which reminds me to just get a silencer. Yeah, I think I'm going to go into the bunker and just check how the suppressor works. This is a 308 gun. Okay, so can we just put the 308 on here? So yeah, we're gonna see what the what the stealth is like at the moment. But first, I'm gonna fail the wires. So let me just get a screwdriver here. Although this thing is probably not even gonna be active. Yeah, this thing is probably not even gonna be active. So what I can do is go to world. Let's check here. That's max allowed. I don't think I can change. Bunkers. I don't know. Is all bunkers active on single player? I'm on single player, guys. I am going to add a test server again later. But yeah. Okay, we can open it in guard mode. So let's go. Set guard mode false. Okay, so now I can do this hacking game and I can fail it. Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how strong this thing is. It dropped the meg off, the sentry. So let's see how strong this thing is. Okay, clearly this thing is extremely strong. It looks like we spawned a horde. Looks like we spawned a horde. Oh, this guy can actually move. This guy can actually move. Spawned a horde without sounds. Okay. Okay, so he's extremely strong and he can move. He's extremely strong and he can move. Apparently, the test that Dave did, they can't move, but this one can move. And it's extremely strong. So it looks like a real sentry. The dropship, if you watch Dave's video, you know the dropship can be destroyed very, very easily. But the sentry can't be destroyed very, very easily. Okay? So, yeah, it's a bit of a problem. Let's see how tough this thing is. Okay, guys, let's ignore the drop. Let's ignore the sentry now and focus on the dropship. Let's focus on the dropship. Let's get some Phoenix steers here. Get some Phoenix steers here. Okay, and then I just want to get the M82. Of course, I want to see where this thing is. Oh, it's in front of me. It's in front of me. Okay. So it can't see me when I'm in a bush. Oh my word. Oh my word. Okay, the good thing is you can run immediately, and I'm just gonna get myself a katana for these puppets, because that guy doesn't have any ammo anymore. So yeah, I just wanna... Where is it? Oh, there it is. So yeah, you can shoot it from a bush. You can shoot it from a bush and it will just run. Okay. So it doesn't really pose a threat at the abandoned bunker because you can just run. As soon as you fail the thing, you know he's going to drop off the sentry, and then you can just run to deal with him and not with the sentry. Clearly, the sentry is the problem, and it's better if they just use the super soldiers. You know, super soldiers dropping down would be cool. The way they're doing it at the moment is not that cool. Okay. Apparently, the stealth skill works better now, and I'm going to test that out. The one way to test out the stealth skill is I've seen that before the update. If you use suppressors close to puppets, they don't come to you. Okay? I've seen that even before the update. What I want to know is if you can loot the abandoned bunkers without being so careful. That's what I want to know. I think I have got advanced stealth. No, this character doesn't have advanced stealth. Okay. Guys, this video has been long enough. I think I'm going to make a separate video on stealth because stealth affects a lot of things. How you sound to other players, what noise you make in a bunker, you know. But, I mean, for now, yes, when you use suppressors, you know, you're not going to attract hordes very easily. I did attract a horde there, but I shot the suppressor very regularly. So, yes, you can still attract a horde, but you need to fire a lot, okay? A heck of a lot, which I did do. I did fire a heck of a lot. But I just want to see if I can move through the bunker, the abandoned bunkers, faster. That will be a very, very good thing for me, personally, okay? So, let's just see that quickly, man. Let's just see that quickly. I want to see what the experience is just quickly. It won't take long. Okay, so here we are. I don't have a silencer on. No. Which one is it again? There we go. Okay. Now we've got the suppress on. You can hear there's other peer puppets around me, but they're not reacting. That guy just reacted because he saw me. But there are other puppets that are not reacting to it. Okay, that puppet didn't react to it. I felt this at the beginning, you know. And this guy has got advanced stealth. Yeah. How many mistakes can you make? We've even got the developers' commands that they haven't removed. So, I don't know. I'm just going to keep quiet. That's probably the best thing. Okay, so we're walking in here. Most of the time you have to crouch. But I've got advanced stealth. I'm actually jogging. How much shots to spawn a razor? That did not spawn a razor, guys. Okay, that spawns a razor. That was a heck of a lot of noise. That spawns a razor. Okay. Just get a tourniquet here. The fastest healing item, except for the feeding stairs. Except for the feeding stairs, the fastest healing item, and of course it stabilizes the fastest. Stabilizes really fast. Especially if you lie down, it's gonna stabilize really fast. Okay, now I want to check I'll make it brighter for you guys. I'll make it brighter for you guys. Now I just want to check the noise level when you search items. Usually I have to take like 3 seconds. I wonder how long you can search without... Of course, I've got advanced stealth. He's not coming. I can basically search. I can basically search until I hear something. I can search until I hear something. That's definitely a lot better. Definitely a lot better. You can definitely move through an abandoned bunker faster. He's not gonna come. He's not coming. Okay, he's coming now. But it feels better. I've got a lot more freedom here before I hear anything. You know, like I must still stand still when I hear something. So, okay, the stealth update has definitely increased the speed and the ease at which you move through.
Water. Somebody bring me some fucking water.
The speed at which you move through abandoned bunkers, guys. Yeah, so to give you guys an overall score, I'm actually disappointed about the base building. Because they've removed my ability to target walls completely, unless I use ammo, which nobody wants to do. You want to blow up a door just like you want to blow up a wall. You want to target doors just like you want to target anything else. The ladders is just going to promote offline raiding and create meta builds that are very frustrating, which promotes people just targeting foundations. So overall, the base building is, I think it could have been better over the last 2 years. I'm not talking about this update. I feel a lot of improvements could have happened in the last 2 years that haven't happened. And we've only, according to them, they've only got, I don't know, 3 months, quarter two. They've got 9 months left. I think they must give themselves 15 months. I really think they must give themselves 15 months with this. Because, like I say, the domino system hasn't changed in 2 years. The puppets have got worse. The vehicles have become less. And the raiding has become worse. Okay? Of course, they did solve a few things here and there, guys. Small issues that the people that they always listen to talk about. And, you know, when their favorites say something or give them a suggestion, they do it within a week. Like the fame that was connected to buying stuff at the trader. I remember, you know, someone making a video about it, and then they implemented it a week later. They made an update that items, you need certain fame for items. They implemented that a week later. They didn't change the system so that we need fame to respawn. They didn't change the system, you know, for us to get fame more realistically or faster or how we used to get fame. They literally just listened to that one person within a week. So I don't know how to fix the problem. I'm just going to keep talking. They can listen or they can't listen. But all I know is I'm thinking about the player base. I'm not thinking about myself. Where the changes that they make, it's as if they're listening to someone that's just thinking about themselves. And it sounds like someone who doesn't want to get raided, but wants to use exploits to raid other people. So I don't really know what's happening here, but my overall score is, I'm happy that a lot of people are coming back to the game, guys. I don't know how long it's going to last. I can't see super soldiers dropping down with sentries because the AI is Scum's biggest problem. And yeah, I just hope they get back to the core mechanics before putting the lights. Like, get the tree into the room before you add the Christmas lights. Make sure the tree is a good Christmas tree before you add the lights. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Tell me how you feel about the update. What is good for you? What is not too good for you? Give me the positives and the negatives about the update in the comments, guys, so that I can just get a better perspective. I mean, the overall reviews on Scum is positive. With the Chinese people killing every official server, with everything I've mentioned, with the encounter system. So maybe I'm just batshit crazy. Who knows? But I feel I'm fighting for a game that I love. I don't feel I'm batshit crazy. I feel I'm passionate about Scum. And I want the best for it. Tell me if you guys think I'm crazy or sane. See you guys later. Love you guys. Now I can finally start with what I love doing, and that's helping people in future guides and future streams. See you guys later. Cheers.